We'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am standing behind row 1, and we're gonna solve a problem today. It's getting hot. It is hot. And one of the biggest things that bothers me about my water monitor enclosures is I don't have enough water. And especially the big ones, like Alexander's perfect example. He's so big and heavy, he breaks his tray. That one was just replaced. So now it doesn't even hold all the water. This was just cleaned yesterday, so if anyone's looking at it saying it's dirty, actually yesterday afternoon it was cleaned. And one of the next things we're gonna do, obviously the goal is to build a giant water tub for him. Permanent, epoxied bottom, probably concrete build or something that drains into the enclosure. And we're gonna switch all of this staining dirt that makes the sulfurs so dirty. I think we're gonna change the soil on the white throats, not the black throats. All the iguanas are going on sand. We want all of the water monitors with bright colored patterns to be on the sand. The black dragons can stay on the mud because I don't think it makes a difference for them if we know where they're permanently going to be. They just look black. But we can't see the colors, the light colors or the patterns on any of the real pretty monitors because of this mud. That's a separate problem. I can't dig out all the enclosures today. In fact, I am not doing any construction today because I am so sore from digging yesterday. So today is gonna be a hardware store trip and solving this problem. So these gotta go, at least for the big monitors. And you know what? Maybe for all the ones that I can with what we already own. Diesel is definitely another big one. He doesn't break his water tub. He seems to be a little bit more gentle on it than Alexander. His is in here, not broken, but still, it's sitting at an angle. It's not, I mean, what is it? He has 25 gallons of water to get into, and he's a big lizard. So I think if at least all of the large enclosures where the males are, and then we'll see what female enclosures we can. There are certain ones where the solution won't fit, and there are certain ones where it will. Let's walk back to our old Rubbermaid water tubs on the back corner of the property, and I'll show you what problem we have to solve, because we own the tubs. They just have drain holes that worked at the other property, and there's got to be a good way to plug them. All the water tubs sat on concrete slabs, and they attached to pipes that drained out the backside of the enclosures. There's no way to make that work here. There's no way for them to drain like that. This tub must have been purchased at the end because it has no drains on it whatsoever. If we go through that stack, there may be another one like that. But most of them are like this, and some of them are actually a step further than this. If this was sitting on the ground in the enclosure, we know that the monitor is going to dig underneath it. That'll be a problem with these. The problem with these in the winter is that the monitors will go between this and the wall. They have that big area. So that's why we haven't put them in already. The other reason is these drains that are set up on the floor. I've removed one from another one that I have up front, and I got to figure out a way to plug that drain. Now, lastly, so some of them have that side drain. If others have it, it's hidden because it's kind of in that pocket underneath the other one. But we can just loosen that up. It'll drain most of the fluid out, and then you could just tip it over. But this drain they make for the Rubbermaid tubs is just a little bit small. I think the diameter of the hole is the same size as this rubber washer. So that won't plug this hole. Inverted, like set the other way where it sticks up in the tub a little bit. I would love to get these giant tubs in for, I would love to get that in there for Alexander. And realistically, that's still not enough water for him to totally spread out. Still not enough, but it's better than what he has. So I'm just looking at a temporary solution, but then also how much I got to spend on PVC fittings. If I have to spend $35 per tub, and the tubs are only $50, maybe I just buy tubs and start over and then resell these. Somebody may want them with those drains. I don't know. The big ones already come with a fitting like that on them that allows you to drain it. It has a rubber washer on it and works out great. But I only have the 2 big ones here, and I think the one more that Pickles is in. I think really we could get these 50-gallon ones into as many enclosures as possible would be really cool, and we can let that ride until we can build something better. So I'm gonna run to a couple of the feed stores that may have solutions for those water tubs, as well as like Home Depot or, you know, a bigger box store, and see what I can't figure out. Other than that, it's a beautiful day. I'm really liking the clouds. It's been so hot, so hot. All right, guys, we'll be back after I get back from the store. I think I found the perfect solution. You know, the problem is the bottom of the tub has that 3.5-inch hole. That's an odd size for a stock tank drain. That's a shower floor drain that fits in there perfectly, and that's what I had cut that hole for. But the different style shower drain, we'll just install it upside down with the rubber seal on the inside. That style will fit in the hole. It doesn't penetrate through the floor bad. And then the cup style on the inside, maybe we can lay this on its side. Basically from the inside, that's gonna penetrate in it with this plug glued in it. So it's gonna be a little bit in the way for the animal. That obviously, that white piece will go in there more. There's no way around that, but that's better than throwing out all of these good tubs for new ones. I don't need to waste all that money. I think that's gonna cost $12 a tub to put those plugs in. So I think tomorrow I gotta work, so the following day we'll knock a couple of these out. I think I got enough to do 6 of them. So if we can do the big ones in Alexanders and Diesels, then we will. Otherwise, I think we have 6 of those small tubs to do, and we'll just give them to as many animals as we can. All right, guys, I'm standing in front of the shop, and this was the sample tank that we put together, glued, and it held water for a week straight, no weird draining or anything like that. I think it's gonna work out fine. There's that little obstruction in the water. There are 3 of these 150s, and I would like to get them in for Alexander, Diesel, and one of the surprise animals that are coming would really enjoy that larger water feature. Going from those little mixing tubs to these 50s will still be a step up. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. So I just ordered on Amazon. I know I hate to say it, but I need them tomorrow, and I don't need to go search them out. These drain plugs, they don't drain the tank well, but they'll drain it low enough that it's not so heavy that you can't just tip it over after that. So first thing tomorrow, we're gonna cut all the drains out and get them all glued up and ready for the drains. I think they show up tomorrow also. And so we'll get those drain plugs installed, and we'll get these suckers into the enclosures, and we'll probably get to see some animals enjoying them right away. So as soon as this stuff comes in, we'll be back at it. All right, guys. We are still waiting for parts for these water tubs. They're saying, you know, it's funny. When you order something off of Amazon, you think you're saving time. When you live in a rural area, overnight or next day shipping doesn't mean next day shipping. It was supposed to be here 2 days ago, and now they're saying by 10 p.m. tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and get You know, some of these only need the drains that are coming. Like this tub doesn't have a hole in the bottom. That one doesn't have a hole in the bottom. So they'll quickly be able to go in enclosures. But I'm waiting for the drains for the other ones. Drain, drain, drain. This one can go into an enclosure right away. And this one, I just need to cut this off and put the new plugs, so to speak, in the bottom. I can go and get those plugs done in these enclosures. And I'll show you how I remove the old drain. I'm not gonna be able to do it one-handed, but I use this multi-tool that vibrates, and I use it to cut that off. Because right now, if I try to spin it by hand, it spins the whole thing. Oh, can't do it one-handed. Just spins the whole thing freely. There is a tool that locks in there on the other side. Much easier with two people. It's not something I can do by myself. I do need to loosen this up where it's hand tight so the plug can be removed to drain the tub. So I think I can do a couple of the bottoms right now. So I'll get this cut off and I'll show you. We'll get these glued up and set up. Those parts will come in tomorrow and we'll get to start putting these in the enclosures and seeing a little bit of an improvement over what we've had for the water. Oh, I forgot to tell you this part. This is the most disappointing part. I had some of the 150 gallons up here. It's already been removed from that area because we found another use for it already. But it was sitting here staged and ready to go. I can't get the 150 gallon Rubbermaids in the enclosures without removing an entire screen panel. Trim, screen, put the tub in, rehang the screen, retrim it. Totally doable, but with everything we have going on right now, it's not practical right now. In 2 weeks time, we could probably do that for some of the larger animals. Even like animals like Alexander, I would have to remove one. I'd have to remove Diesel's back panel, Diesel's front panel, and then Alexander's front panel to get that tub in. Doesn't fit down the hallway, doesn't fit through his door. Is it a problem? No, because, or we can remove the roof panel. Kagan did mention that. I could remove some of the roof panel and carry that heavy thing on the roof. These 50s are manageable. The 150s are a 2-person carry. I can carry it, but I would not be able to carry it and balance walking across that roof. We could possibly do that. The reason why I say it's not a problem is because these are only temporary. We're gonna build much larger. Like all those curves is wasted space. If I can only go this far out in a female's enclosure, squaring it off and making it to its maximum is better. And you remember at the old property, to create the elevation for it to drain, we did a slab. There are no slabs in the enclosures and the animals are gonna dig underneath. These can't be in the enclosures for the winter. They just can't, so they would have to come out. And that means removing panels over and over and over. That's not a solution. We need something permanent to go in there later. This is all temporary. So the 50s, better than the mixing tubs. We own them, we might as well use them. So I'm gonna get that one plug cut and I will show you how we set it up again. All right, those of you out there that do cut plastic from time to time, when you cut, a lot of times it gets hot and melts and then actually welds itself back together. So with that vibrating blade, once I get it cut through, I've got to do a twist to get it to open up because this side's fully cut, but look, it's like remelted itself together and kind of glued itself on. There you go. Had to hit that off. It's re-glued itself on. Was cut fully. That's off. Now I can put that other drain setup on there. I'm gonna knock out the 6 that I have. That doesn't mean that we're gonna get 6 in enclosures. I forget how many of the plugs I ordered. We're gonna get all we can get done with the parts we have, and we're gonna make some animals happy, and then we're just gonna come right back to it and work on the others is what we'll do. So I'm gonna get that drain piece done. I think I did already show that to you guys. So I think I only have 4 left. So I'm gonna knock out these 4. And then I gotta get to digging for another video. So that'll be fun. All right, guys. We'll be back with the actual drains when they come in either tonight or tomorrow. I should also mention that tub, which has already been tested, I'm filling them all up with water and letting them sit in the sun. I don't want any chemicals from that glue being a problem, or the new plastic for being a problem with the monitors drinking water. So I will fill these up, let them sit in the sun today, and then give them a thorough wash out before they go into the enclosures, so I don't introduce anything bad to the monitor lizards. That's all of the drains I can do. This is the part that I'm waiting for. I think I could show you on this one. This part here. Actually, the nicer Rubbermaid ones have a little black drain that goes on the outside with a rubber washer, and they actually come off easier. These are going to be a little bit trickier. That one's actually a little tight. I thought I had it hand tight, but I guess it tightened up again on its own. Those will be a little bit of a pain. The ones I order will be super easy. So waiting for them, and we'll get them in the enclosures. All right, you guys see I have a large stack of the tanks, the 50-gallon Rubbermaids behind me. I got the weed eater with me, and we're gonna go enclosure by enclosure. We only have so many of the fittings. Some of them didn't need the bottom drain, and some don't need the side drain, and I'll show you what that is in a second, to get them to work. So maybe we'll get like 8 of these in, maybe a little bit more, we'll see. Then we'll have to order some more fittings. But pulling up to the enclosures, and I know one of the first ones I want to do is diesels. It's gonna feel good to remove those little tubs. Now, we did Alexander's last night. We cheated, although I don't think his has a drain, so I'm gonna need to flip it over and drain it and clean his out, put the drain in it. But you could see he had a field day in this thing yesterday. I'm looking. It's he loved it. If a lizard could smile, he was smiling. He's made a hot mess of it. I need to put the drain in it real quick. So there's nothing to this one. Since there's no drain, I can't just unscrew it. Oh, I have to lift it over. I'm gonna have to do it that way. Now, his enclosure is one of the very next to get switched over to sand. So this new sand is gonna drain super good. Let's see if we have one enclosure with it. It's a real coarse draining sand. And we just did this one last night. And oh my gosh, I cannot wait. The lizards are gonna stay clean. The grass will grow on top of this again. So it is really sad for me going from what took a 1.5 years to grow and get a good solid green surface on the enclosure. Gonna have to start with sand again, at least on all the animals we want to keep clean, but it's gonna be worth it. That's another enclosure that's priority for a tub. Any of the big males, the larger the lizard, I think the bigger the need for the water tub, and then we'll go from there to the larger females and stuff. But I did weed eat diesels yesterday afternoon, so I can pull this out. I'll have to clean it off on the back area. Kind of stinks that it's going to be at an angle there, but oh man, as soon as I start digging out one of the other enclosures, I'll add some more dirt there to level that off, and it's going to sit better. Even these Rubbermaids are temporary, like I keep saying. It's just going to be so much nicer to see a large lizard in a large water tub. Ah, you know who else got a large water tub? Was Sammy. Sammy got moved to a new enclosure. she already has one that has, and I think she's sleeping behind it, but it has that plug that I put where the bottom drain used to be. And it already has a side drain that should be, yeah, where I can turn it. So yeah, that was crystal clear yesterday when I put it in. With her going in and out of that dirt has made it muddy. I could keep putting these carabiners off. Kagan is about to feed all the animals as well. I just need to race through and weed eat and do the water tubs before she gets to it. So let's get to one of these tubs. Oh, not super light. So the drain needs to go on this flat piece, and it can't be too low, unfortunately, but it drains it enough where you can flip it on its side. So this is the drain, one-handed. This piece has to come off of it and has a little rubber gasket in there. So I just need to take my hole saw, probably on the bottom of all this. Just has to be room for that square part on the inside. Make sure there's no burrs on the hole. And it still needs to be cleaned out. And I do still need to, all right. This piece goes on the inside with the gasket. That square edge doesn't allow it to turn. And then this piece on the outside. Some pliers here to tighten it up. It is cheap plastic. If you tighten it up too much, the whole thing will pop the threads. I've already figured that out on the first one. That drain's got a little gasket on it as well, so you don't have to tighten it up too much for it to seal and hold that water. Simple as that. That's another one to go. I'll rinse it off and we'll put it in diesels. I'm gonna put you guys down. I'm gonna go through these and I'll have them cleaned and set in front of enclosures, and then we'll start putting them in and cleaning our putting them in and filling them up together. All right, so we had a quick rain shower. Now everything is dripping and getting wet. So one of the other good things about doing this is by replacing those little mixing tubs, these giant 50-gallon tubs, is it's freeing up some of the larger mixing tubs. So like this smaller female sulfur had a small mixing tub. Now she's got the large size. So I've been able to upgrade a whole bunch of the animals into the larger mixing tubs. That little female black dragon there. So I'm filling them up. Diesel's is filled up. I got the plug in Alexander's. He's been in and out of it. He's just a goof. He's having so much fun in his enclosure. The rain just dumped a bunch. Me dumping the water tub dumped a bunch. He's just having fun. It's what he does. He's definitely the first animal that's gonna get a large swimming area. It'd be nice if it was like 4 feet by 6 feet, somewhere in that range, where he can spread out. And then we got to find some plants that will live in his enclosure that he can't beat up, because he seems to kill all of his plants, and it would look nice with some green in here. This is the next to get dug out, so that'll be good. Got the tub in bumblebees, still weed eating. Bumblebees is getting filled up. I've still got to do the waters for Lily and Pinky. I guess I could start filling one of the new lizards' tubs up. I think I have one extra tub, so who's gonna get the next extra tub? Conan's gonna get that one. It's the next biggest female. And I don't know if that's Lily. Lily would definitely use it. Honestly, Pinky could use it. Pinky's not that big, but she does love her water. She's sitting in it right now. I might have to toss a coin and see. And I'll have to go get that one from the front. I've got one more 50-gallon tub in the front to put a drain in. And then Pickles, we've been since he's been in a 150 gallon, we've had a piece of pond liner with a block over it so it didn't drain. So I'm gonna put one of those inverted drains with the plug on it, like we're doing on all these tubs, in there, so we don't have to worry about the water slowly leaking out. That's always been something we've dealt with where Pickles is. So I'm gonna do that for Pickles and then let that soak with water so any of the plastics or glue will off gas before Pickles goes in it. So I'm gonna get that done right now also. Don't crawl out, Lily. There's Miss Lily. She was enjoying her water. Of course, oh no, don't go in the hallway. There's probably still some food that hasn't been fed to other lizards. Nope. Come on. Show them how much you like your water. Ooh, you're too big for the one-handed grab. So she's one of the few females that got the larger water tub. I don't want her in the hallway because there are definitely food trays out here that haven't been fed to animals. And if you guys remember when she came to me, she was quite chunky. She will definitely overeat if you let her. But going down the hallway, Bumblebee, the new surprise animal. These guys just got cleaned. Empty enclosure that's going to be filled as we jumble everybody around. Clean. Diesel got a larger water tub. Kagan just had him out while he was eating. Alexander's eating some salmon, quail, and chicken. A little jealous of actually the quail and the salmon. He's, oh.
Gets to hunt for that later.
Yeah, he probably will.
Oh, he 100% will.
Yeah, he's not gonna pass up any little nuggets.
No.
Oh yeah. That's probably gonna get a good shake. That's why Kagan is backing up. So I feel good about putting the larger water tubs. I think it'll stay cooler longer. It's gonna be more to clean, more to fill, but I mean, that's what owning water monitors is all about. We even got, Chris and Emily had this large radiator pan that was perfect for their tortoises. They used it for their tortoises. They're now moving, and he wanted me to have it, as well as their old hide box, which is working out great for them here. We do have plans for a different tortoise area. I know we had shown you guys the plans of where I wanted to move them. We have a totally different idea. If this not getting along situation continues on, I think we have a plan that will work if we can't keep these three together. But moving back down the aisle, I wish Lily was in her water. I wish Sammy was in her water right now. Sammy has been in and out of her water. Chuck, the T positive, got a larger water tub. So while Kagan's in here feeding Sammy, we found, when we were digging out Sammy's old enclosure yesterday, eggs. So I think that further confirms, and we saw what looked like a couple of versions that definitely looked female. So we're gonna keep watching, but it did seem like once we moved her into this enclosure, every male in the surrounding enclosures was interested in her. So I'm leaning towards female now. So we'll see. I think if we see any behavior that indicates a cycle, we will do a very close observed introduction to her and Diesel, who's just right through that door. We'll have to move her water tub for it to happen, but that's fine. This our sulfur female, she got a larger water tub. Conan got a larger water tub. He's on the back shelf there. He hasn't gotten his food yet, so he's laying out on his shelf. The female's like, what are you doing? So a lot of animals have better water, cleaner water, and I feel good about it. And I wish we were doing something where we were in the water today. The more I talk about it and I think about them soaking and playing in the water, we need to hurry up and wrap things up and get in the water. We won't be able to do that. We actually have company coming in town tomorrow, and we're going to a mud fest. So I guess that's kind of like really dirty, thick water. So we have to load the Jeep and get those things ready. More changes, guys. I hope you liked it. I'm sure the animals will like it. I think that's all for this one. Until next time, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And as always, we appreciate everyone.